get into the predictions, we can talk about this Belal and Ian Garry fight just real briefly. I do want to say I feel like welterweight is just me and EGF have been talking about this for a while now. Welterweight is just in such a weird spot. Like, just all these guys who got claims to title shots. You got Sean Bray still out there. Belal will be right back if he wins. Ian Garry is there if he wins. I'm blanking. They're trying, Usman's trying to talk his way. I don't think he's in the contention, but he's trying to talk his way in. I'm blanking. Shavkat. How can I blank on my favorite fighter in the division? Shavkat. He's still there. Like, it's a mess in the welterweight division. Especially we look up top and think of the title contention, but things should start clearing out, especially with this matchup, this Ian Garry matchup. Obviously with Leon Edwards going against Carlos Prates, that should clear some things up. But yeah, welterweight, we gotta fix welterweight, man. Way too early prediction. I'm not gonna give an early prediction, but I do think that Belal and Ian Garry fight will be fireworks. That will be a fun fight. I don't think it's a main. Is it? I don't know. I don't think it's a main event. I gotta double check. But either way, that's gonna be a fun fight, man. Two highly skilled, very high IQ guys. You got a wrestler going against Ian Garry is pretty much of a striker, but I don't know. I feel like they're both somewhat bad matchups for each other, just in different ways. But we'll get into that down the line as we get closer to that. I'm just excited. I'm excited for that. That's gonna, like I said, I'm also excited for the clarity that it can help bring to the welterweight division. But nonetheless, UFC 320, man. Poatan, that man is back. We're gonna talk about him. We ain't gonna talk about him this soon, though. We're gonna talk about not top to bottom, bottom to top. Opening up the card, Joe Pfeiffer coming off a win versus Kelvin Gastelum, going against Abus Amagomedov, coming off a win versus Michel Pereira. Now this actually is gonna be, I think, like, this card is stacked top to bottom, but this fight is gonna be a pretty good one. I think an underratedly good one. I'm probably Joe Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer, look, he's boxing. He got the knockout power. He showed that, like, he can. And how can I put this in so many words? He can control him, not overexert himself, not overuse his power, so to speak, in that Gastelum fight going the distance. Magomed had a really good showing against a guy who was surging through the ranks, or not through the ranks, but he was getting a lot of hype. Michel Pereira, he had a good showing. And when you think of Abus, he's fought a decent amount of guys. He's fought some guys. Both guys have racked up multiple wins. I'm gonna have to rock. I don't know. This is a little tough. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to, just off the bat, I'm gonna rock with go Joe Pfeiffer by decision. I think he's gonna get out on that front foot early. One thing we've seen, he was able to. It wasn't really evident in his last fight, but one thing we've seen when Abus is kind of, backed up and he's backed up, can't really get things going off the front foot. I feel like it becomes a longer night for him. You saw it against, I believe he fought Sean Strickland. He didn't fight. Did he fight Sean Strickland? I'm about to say, I feel like this guy fought Sean Strickland. Yeah, he fought Sean Strickland. You saw it in that Sean Strickland fight. Even in that, he fought Kyle, another guy who, like, pressures, tries to stalk you down, walk you down with heavy combinations, heavy, powerful strikes. I just feel like it's gonna be a struggle for him to get on that front foot, especially with such a with how good and how powerful Pfeiffer's hands are. He's definitely gonna be trying to move forward, pressure, and Pfeiffer can, if it needs be, he can test the wrestling department if need be. I don't think he will, but he can. His wrestling, we haven't really seen it in a while. Probably, I think he got a sub in one of his earlier fights, but if it goes there, he can use that pressure and use him getting Amagomed on the back foot, and also use that wrestling. And you mix that up with the powerful threat of his hands, I just think Abus won't be able to keep Pfeiffer off of him. That's me. I think Pfeiffer should get this one. Now, will he knock him out? Will it be a finish? Will it be a submission? Part of me thinks he's gonna stop him, but I'm gonna go decision. I think Pfeiffer is gonna win by decision. I'm gonna go Joe Pfeiffer by decision. I think it's gonna be a solid fight. He's probably gonna Abus is probably gonna come out, take round one, maybe make it competitive. I think later on, I think Pfeiffer will ultimately just get him on that back foot, and it is gonna be a little bit of a longer, rougher fight for him. Another contender, our rising contender, Yusuf Zalal. Let's talk about Yusuf Zalal. Oh, ain't that's a nice pronunciation. Anyways, just beat Calvin Kattar. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Not the best competition, but he's seen some guys. I mean, Calvin Kattar, the Ilya loss early on kind of derailed him, put him on a tough track. Then he lost to Sean Woodson, another guy who's pretty solid, who's probably going to end up working his way in the rankings. And then he lost to Damon Blackshear, who was a guy who's not ranked, but he is not by any means not an easy fight at all. He's a solid fighter outside of the rankings. But as of late, I mean, his competition has dropped. When you look at Josh Emmett, though, I mean, I don't know. When I just look at Josh Emmett in that last Lerone Murphy performance, I don't know. I think Josh Emmett is definitely pushing 40 by now. He's definitely on his last legs. I mean, he's always going to be into a fight because at the end of the day, what do they always say? The power is usually the last thing to go, and Josh Emmett still carries crazy power. Let's just leave it at that. I don't think Josh Emmett. I don't think there probably won't be a fight where he doesn't carry crazy power. I mean, it could have been. I mean, Lerone Murphy. We just saw what he did to Aaron Pico. So I say that to say maybe that wasn't so much of a Josh Emmett decline. Maybe Lerone was just that good because Lerone is probably en route to fighting Volkanovski for a title, and Lerone has a pretty damn good shot versus Volkanovski. And this is coming from a Volkanovski fan, a Volkanovski stan. Happy belated birthday to Alexander the Great Volkanovski yesterday. Clap it up for Alexander Volkanovski, man. Give a little slight round of applause. But anyways, back to the fight. I'm gonna rock with Zalal by decision. I mean, his momentum is riding high right now. He's a pretty good skill fighter. He's been, like I said, I think these last fights, this little win streak has been great for him, building up his confidence, going against guys and winning. And then when you just look at the trajectory of Josh Emmett, like I said, now it could have been Lerone Murphy is just like a top 5, contender. And he's just that damn good. It very much well could have been because that was a masterclass. But even if that were the case, I feel like just watching Emmett, years ago, just fighting, even a year from fighting Bryce Mitchell, even watching him when I think about that Yair fight, and all his other fights. I mean, I think he fought Calvin Kattar a while. Did he fight Calvin Kattar? He fought Calvin. No, he didn't. He didn't fight Calvin Kattar. I thought he did, but Ige. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He fought Calvin Kattar. Ige. When I look at all those, even the Ilya fight, he doesn't look nowhere near the same. Like he just doesn't. I mean, his power is still there, but I don't know. I just don't think. I don't think this is a good matchup for Josh Emmett, man. I don't. Now, but I will say, when you're going against a guy and you got to be on such high alert like you do versus Josh Emmett, and you're like a sort of a younger guy in Zalal, all it takes is one. All it takes is one slip up, one mistake, one punch, and with a guy like Emmett, that's all he needs. So I wouldn't necessarily say lock, but I think Yusuf Zalal by decision is a really good pick that I'm confident about. I think Yusuf Zalal should, and I think he will pretty much cruise to a decision. I think it's going to be a lot of point fighting. He's not going to stand there and trade with him. I think he's going to move around a lot and just try to make Emmett miss, be smart with his counters and things like that. Yeah, I'm going to go, so far we're going Joe Pfeiffer by decision, and we're going to go Yusuf Zalal by decision. Working our way up the card. We're already here. Jiri Prochazka returning versus Khalil Roundtree. Yuri's last fight was Jamal Hill, just like Khalil Roundtree's fight. Yuri knocked out Jamal Hill. And what was it? He finished them in what? 3 rounds within, it was like that 3rd round, wasn't it? I believe so, yeah. And Khalil just went the distance. Not to say that necessarily means anything, just something to take note of, something to definitely take note of. Khalil Roundtree. I just want to say before we even get into this fight, and same thing with Yuri, the growth of both of these fighters, like, when you look at Yuri from those Poatan fights and how he was able to adjust and kind of switch up things and change gears. Same thing with Khalil, man. He looked really technical and really refined in that Jamal Hill fight. Now, a lot of that was Jamal Hill, let's just be real, being a shell of what he once was, but a lot of it was the improvement on both Yuri Prohaska's and Khalil Roundtree Jr.'s part. But that leads to the $1 million question: who will win on Saturday night? And I did a lot of thinking about this fight because this is probably, I'm not gonna say it's the most competitive fight on the card. No, I'm not gonna say that. But this is a really competitive fight. You got two guys who love to strike, so we know this fight isn't going to the ground unless someone gets knocked down there. Yuri, Khalil, two strikers. Two guys who typically move forward. Khalil's somewhat a little bit more opportunistic with his counters, and I would say Yuri's a little bit more heavy with his unorthodoxness, his heavy pressure. That's more of his side. The more skilled or more refined striker, I would like to say Roundtree, but I would say Roundtree. More powerful, definitely Yuri. More experienced, obviously Yuri. I don't know. I feel like this Yuri TKO is really like, this Yuri TKO is really eating at me. It really is like saying, like, look, come here, you need it, hit the button, put $50 on it. I don't know though. I'm gonna go with Yuri Prohaska getting a stoppage in the 3rd round. I'm gonna go with it. I think by then both of those guys will be like, not tired out, but like have exerted a lot of themselves, considering both can take a lot of damage. And I think this will be a fight that gives a lot of damage on both sides. And I think ultimately what we've seen from Yuri more times than not, he thrives under the chaos. He thrives under the high pace, high action type of fights. And I think that's exactly what this is about to be. I think Yuri's going to come in. I think he's going to come in sharp, and I think he's going to, is he going to finish him? Is he going to finish Khalil Roundtree? Oh my God. Is he going to finish Khalil Roundtree? I don't know. I'm going to say he's going to finish Khalil Roundtree. I'm going to say Yuri stoppage in the 3rd round TKO. I'm going to go with Yuri. I think it's going to be a really fun fight. Another one where I think it's probably going to be going to that 3rd round 1-1, and we're going to be all with our friends watching it, talking about, such and such Khalil needs this round if he wants to win. Yuri needs this round if he wants to win. Yeah, yada yada yada. But with that being said, my thing is, or I guess another question is, as we're getting closer and closer to the main event, is this a number 1 contenders match? Because obviously both guys aren't too far removed from a title shot. I mean, Yuri got his a little over a year ago. Khalil's probably got his less than a year ago, whatever that card was, but versus Poatan, but they're both probably a little close to a year removed from their title shots, so not, obviously they just got title shots. Obviously, I feel like it's so many different ways this can go, like in terms of like how the night can end, and I'm gonna explain it. If Poatan were to get his belt back, which I think he will, and Yuri wins, I mean, I guess by default, Carlos Uberg will be the contender, unless Magomed gets an immediate, which we're gonna talk about. Unless Magomed gets an immediate, which I'm not really banking on happening. I feel like the perennial contender will just have to be Carlos, because how would you, at this point, getting stopped not once but twice? He got stopped. In the second fight wasn't close. I'm talking about Yuri and Alex Pereira. The second fight just simply wasn't close. how do you sell that? Like, how do you get people invested in that? Unless Jiri just comes out and just shows that, like, he is just this completely different monster, and he just, I don't know, stops Khalil in like 2 minutes or something. Like, he would legit have to do something like that for me, at least, to like be invested and say, okay, maybe him fighting Poatan for a third time is worth watching. But how do you even, as a fan, how do you get a fan bought into a Poatan versus Jiri 3? And then obviously if Khalil wins and Poatan wins, I mean, okay, when it's 1-0, it's a little bit more like, okay, why not give him another shot? But watching that fight, I mean, again, I mean, how do you get a fan invested in Khalil to beat Alex? And then there's the other scenario. Let's say Magomed retains. Well, now you have a trifecta because you got Carlos waiting, who probably thinks he should be in line for the title shot. And probably, I mean, arguably rightfully so, especially after what he just did to Dominic Reyes. And then you would have whoever wins this fight. Let's say Khalil wins. I guess Magomed winning would be better for title contention, if that makes sense, in terms of moving things along, because if Magomed wins, it gives you a clearer path. It's like, okay, we can give it to Uberg, or we could give it to the winner of Jiri and Khalil, considering that neither of these guys have fought Magomed yet. And this is a fight, I mean, some people would probably think it worth watching, especially a Jiri fight. I know I would. Jiri and Magomed, that would be a really amazing fight. And a really closer fight than a lot of people would think, including my guy EGF, who's not here right now. And I think Khalil Roundtree could pose some type of threat, some type of problems to Magomed. And like I said, considering we haven't seen it before, it would be way easier to get us to buy into. That's the main thing here. How do you create that buy-in? Where does that buy-in come from? And like I said, it just seems like at this point, Magomed winning is probably the best thing for, like I said, moving along title contention, considering Poatan has beaten most of these dudes in the top 5 already. So I don't know. So I mean, is this fight a number one contenders fight? That's not a yes or no question. The answer to that question, is this fight a number one contenders fight? Yes, depending on who wins. I would say that's my best answer, because it really does depend on who wins. Because we're not gonna act like if Jiri wins and Alex wins, that's just the next fight. We're not gonna, like, that's not it just wouldn't. Or even if Khalil wins. So I definitely think it definitely depends on that main event. 2 more fights. Now, it sucks that EGF couldn't be here, because I know he would be, oh man, we would have had a great, he would be hooting and hollering and Merab this, Merab that, Merab not. But maybe it's a good thing that EGF isn't here, so I could tell y'all some truth to what's gonna happen Saturday. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been saying it for months since it's been announced, and I'm not backing off. Everybody is calling me crazy, and that's fine. That is so fine. Because I have Corey Sandhagen, Sandman, winning by decision. And I do. Now, if EGF was here, he would be, oh my God, here we go. You're betting against Merab again. When I've only done it twice. Come on, I only took Umar and I only took Sean in the first fight. Come on. Let's relax on that first and foremost. And 2, personally, I really feel like Sandhagen is like a really good matchup for Merab. Like, in terms of like, well, I guess bad matchup for Merab. I think he is. Now, you're like, everybody's gonna say, oh, he's just gonna gas him out and tire him out and take him down like he does everybody else. He's definitely gonna get Sandman to the ground. But I don't think he's gonna be able to keep Sandman there. And I think Sandman is gonna make him work for those takedowns more than we've ever seen before. His movement, the way he moves, the way he can put together combinations while moving, he's very defensively sound. So, I mean, it's going to take, and I say that to say those, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't just run up on somebody and take them down. Merab does do a good job of, even though I don't think his striking is the best, he mixes in from punch to takedown, because that's what you have to do in MMA. And I think with Corey Sandhagen being so smart, being so aware of the cage, his IQ is off the charts. I was about to say, did I even say that? Him being so aware of the cage and his movement, knowing where he always is, and him being so defensively sound, I think that's going to help him just defend those takedowns overall. And I don't know, like, he's rangy. He can pop out long strikes that Merab will have to get through to take him down. I feel like Sandman will see the takedowns way better than a Sean O'Malley would. I mean, especially when you look at how he fought Umar. Now, I know Umar probably isn't, you would make the case that Umar isn't as good as a wrestler as Merab, but he damn sure is right there with him. And Umar, he gave Umar hell before he could just take him down, like, consistently. So I really think Sandman is about to do it. I really do. I really do. He's hungry. He's been waiting on it. Listen, he's been waiting on this his whole. He probably should have got a title shot. He should have got a title shot. In my opinion, it should have went. They messed up when they gave Cheeto the shot. They probably should have did Sean versus Merab right then and there. Merab would have beat Sean, and then this sort of Sandhagen fight could have been happening. But they messed up there. But Sandman should have gotten the title shot. He shouldn't have. If I was him, I wouldn't even I wouldn't have even fought Umar. Like, well, I wouldn't even fought Umar. That just speaks to the type of competitor that he is. Sandman is, to be honest, the fact that he took that Umar fight, because he very well could have told him no. And rightfully so could have told him no. But I think Sandman is a really good matchup for Merab. I really do. Do I think it's going to go to decision? Yes, I do. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Merab. I don't know. He hasn't gotten finished this far along. I don't think Sandman will be the one to finish him, but I think he's going to beat him. I'm putting my chips on Corey Sandhagen, Sandman. Sandhagen. I'm doing it. I think he can do it. I feel like he can. I've been saying it for months, and I'm not gonna back off. I'm not. Now, I mean, there is, and another thing I like about saying he can fight moving backwards, because we know, I mean, you're gonna have to be able to fight moving backwards with as much as Merab is gonna come forward and just, he's really resilient. He can eat a lot of shots. So, like, that, I mean, there's that. He's tough. And I mean, he's always the shorter guy, so he has, and his style of fighting, is wrestling. I mean, for the most part, I mean, he's saying he's going to strike with him, which I don't believe the half of, considering if he does strike one for 5 rounds and doesn't attempt one takedown, Sandman might legit win the fight 5-0, 50-45, no joke. But that won't happen, because I'm pretty sure Merab is smarter than that. And Corey Sandhagen can fight off his back foot pretty well. And I think that's going to be another thing that can ultimately win him this fight. His smarts, his movement, and being able to fight off his back foot. I think he can outsmart Merab. I really do. I think when you look at overall skill wise, I mean, I definitely think he's just, when you go from top to bottom, every skill, I think he's better. I mean, just about the only thing that Merab beats him in is probably wrestling. I mean, I think Sandman is the better fighter, but Merab, I will say this before we go on to the main event. In my opinion, Merab has been I'm not going to say that. He's probably the better fighter than O'Malley, but he's won fights where he wasn't the better fighter. He dominated Peter Yan, who is a way more skilled fighter than he is. He dominated Umar. He didn't dominate him, in my opinion. Whatever. He beat Umar, and in my opinion, Umar is really more skilled than Merab. And to be honest, there's probably a few more guys in the division I can name that are probably more skillful than Merab that Merab would just smash. So I say that to say, even though Sandman is more skilled than him holistically, that we've seen that time and time again, and in a bunch of different fights, that sometimes skills don't in fact pay the bills. Sometimes it's just the heart of a champion and just resilience and just the intangibles, the grit, the determination, all things that Merab has. That is one thing I will say about Merab. He has really great intangibles. He might not be the most skillful, but he's gonna outwork you. He's gonna out tough you. He's gonna last longer than you do. He's gonna take more damage. His intangibles are really well, and ultimately that's what's. I mean, I feel like I'm not gonna say that's carried him. I'm not just gonna act like he's a bum off the street, but I mean, that's the thing that kind of makes him who he is. I feel like his intangibles, all the things that you really can't, that you really can't measure, like while watching the fight. Man, I almost said EGF. What you think? I'm missing my guy, man. I'm missing him. On to the main event. Alex Pereira looks to reclaim his belt versus Magomed Big Ankalaev. Wonder what is Big Ankh. Does Ankh have a nickname? Does Ankh have a nickname? If Ankh has a nickname, let me know. I don't know it. Big Ankh. That's what I know. He called Big Ankh. It's Big Ankh time. He goes by Big Ankh and all this. Well, so we saw Big Ankh and Poatan getting after it at the the UFC PI. That was a little interesting. I mean, Magomed looked pretty confused. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was confused, considering that he probably doesn't even run his Twitter account. And I'm referring to Poatan pressing him about the things he was saying on Twitter, the things that most likely Ali was saying on Twitter. Most likely, wouldn't know for sure, obviously, or who I believe Ali is his manager. Cause I mean, those guys, I'm pretty sure Magomed probably doesn't run his Twitter account. He doesn't. I don't think Magomed knows English that well. To the things he was saying a lot of stuff on those rants, but nonetheless, listen, I'm going with Poatan. I took him via late stoppage last time. I think with all the data that he's collected, him being in there with Magomed for 25 minutes, I mean, like I said, that's a lot of data collecting. As great as a striker he is too good not to find that shot. And I feel like watching the fight, that shot was there. I'm not going to say that shot, like it was this specific shot that was there, but I feel like he could have been way more aggressive to find that shot in the fight, because he opened out pretty strong, and then once Magomed realized, he's not really fighting like Alex Pereira tonight. He's not really, I mean, he's pressuring me, but he's not really like trying to, damage me or get me out of here too much. He's just pressuring me to let me know he's here type of thing. Cause I mean, that wasn't Poatan. He fought a good fight, but that wasn't Poatan that I know and love. And I feel like we're going to see the Poatan that I know and love, that we all know and love, because I feel like that takedown threat hurt him a lot. Just knowing that there's a possibility this guy might shoot on my hips. I think that made him very, 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 very more cautious than he should have been. At the end of the day, he's a striker. He's a phenomenal, technical, powerful, smart striker, and aggressive when he's pushing forward and things like that. And he should use that to his ability, because at the end of the day, that's what wins him fights, and that's what makes him him. I think last fight he was too caught up in showing, I can defend this guy's takedowns. I'm a full mixed martial artist. I can yada, yada, yada. And I think, like I said, that overall takedown threat got in his head too much, and he didn't really want to tee off. He didn't really want to open up like he should have, and like I feel like he could have. And I think that's going to change in this fight, especially considering that he didn't get taken down once and he defended a good amount. And I mean, let's not act like, I'm not in his training camps, but I'm pretty sure they've been continuing. So at this point, Poatan has shown at bare minimum, if you're not going to say he's a slightly above average wrestler in terms of defense, at least like defending wrestling, I would say he's slightly above average. At minimum, he's average. And I say that to say, he did pretty well defending the takedowns versus Magomed. And I'm pretty sure they've been continuing to, drill that. Like, I'm pretty sure they've been continuing to work on that. So I think he's going to be even better this time. And when you pair that with I'm thinking with the mind, because I feel like a lot of it was a mind thing with him. Like I said, he didn't want to open up. I feel like because mentally he felt, if I get overzealous, this guy's going to shoot on my hips, and it's going to be a long night. But I feel like that mental factor won't be there. And when Poatan opens up, he usually gets finishes. I mean, we don't see guys go to decision with Poatan. I mean, unless you're Jan Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev, obviously, you usually don't go to decision with Poatan. It's not really too much of an option. That's not too much of an option. So with that being said, I'm taking Alex Pereira to knock out Magomed Ankalaev in the 4th round. I think it's going to be a dragged out fight. I think it's going to be a little longer. I think it's going to be a little bit more, a little more damage given on both sides, considering, because I'm not just going to play one side too. I feel like both sides played too much into the other side, if that makes sense. Poatan was too busy showing, hey guys, look, I can defend takedowns. Look, stop saying I can't. Stop saying I can't wrestle. And I think Magomed was too focused on proving that Poatan was just overrated, or not necessarily overrated, but proving that he could hang with Poatan striking. Like, oh look, you guys say this guy is just an amazing striker. I just stood up with him for 5 rounds type of thing. Because even though he was like going for those takedowns, he definitely, he definitely stayed majority of the fight like trying to knock out Poatan. He rocked him a good amount early, with a good shot early, and almost tried to get him out of there. But with that being said, I feel like this fight, it was a solid competitive fight last time. Not necessarily a barn burner, but it was a good competitive fight, and I think it's gonna be even better considering that I feel like both guys mentally are gonna come in with less of an approach to prove that they can do what the other can do, because that's what it felt like just a little bit last fight. And I feel like with that being said, they're both going to be at their best, and I'm not taking too many guys against Poatan at his absolute best. He's also saying that he was a little dinged up, but I mean, we're not taking credit away from Magomed, because I mean, Poatan, I'm sure Poatan is coming to other fights that he's won dinged up. So, with both of these guys being at their absolute peak, absolute best, I think Poatan gets the job done. I really do. If he can just stay on that pressure and I don't want to say not worry about the takedowns, because you can't just not worry about them, but just don't let it take up so much of his mind space that it takes away from who he is as a fighter, and he is still him. I don't think Magomed. I think Magomed is gonna be in for a long, tough night in the office. He's saying Poatan is his old man, and he's ready to retire him this time, or him or whoever could be running his account. But I think it's gonna be close to a barn burn. I think two guys, they're gonna put a little bit more damage on each other this time. I feel like we're probably gonna see a cut or two from either side. We're gonna see a little, and if not, definitely more bruises, because those guys, they weren't even bruised for real from the last fight I remember. But I think it's gonna be a little bit more damage given on both sides, and when damage is given on both sides, usually Poatan is the one that walks out victorious. So I'm gonna stick with my guy, my favorite fighter, the one, the only, Alex Poatan Pereira. Question for y'all in the chat before we get up out of here. Do y'all think Poatan deserves the one and only? I mean, Bruce Buffer did it last time, and do you think they're going to do it this time, considering he lost right after he said it? But I don't think that means nothing, considering, I mean, Conor McGregor lost multiple fights right after he said it, so but did Poatan deserve that one and only? Because I remember talking to some people, and they were kind of questioning that. Did he deserve that one and only? I mean, but yeah, those are my decisions, man. Those are my picks right now, man. I'm gonna go, just a little quick recap. I'm gonna go Pfeiffer decision. Who's after that? I said Belal decision. I said Jiri 3rd round finish, and I said Sandman decision, and I said Poatan 4th round TKO. I'm pretty confident, man. I'm pretty confident. I think I'm pretty confident. I definitely miss EGF, man. I miss yelling and screaming with him back and forth. We're definitely going to get him on next week. after we talk about all this and the fallout of this, I'm sure we're probably gonna talk about Belal and that fight, and we're gonna be inching closer through 21. Yeah, that's coming soon, right? This month. We're probably gonna start gearing up for that. We got some good stuff coming for you guys, man. We got a lot of good content. Also, I'm also starting. See, guys, I'm an aspiring journalist. I'm an inspired journalist, so I've been trying to get back on my content creation in terms of just one-on-one interviewing guys and just that type of content. You guys will see some content of me interviewing a fighter, a Muay Thai fighter who's looking to eventually transition into MMA, and he's not in amateurs yet. He's taken some amateur. He's fought amateur excuse me, I'm sorry, karate and things like that. But his name is Tariq Blue. Trains out of Fighting Fitness Revolution here in Ohio, and I'm gonna keep up just with more content, more one-on-one interviews like that. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably be posting a short on this channel probably really soon. Be on the lookout for that, and just that's gonna be really. We got some stuff brewing up. Got some more content, hopefully, with the guys I train in my Muay Thai gym with. I like Tariq and other guys. Hopefully, I'm gonna add on to that. I'm also gonna be writing a story on him. So, I mean, if you guys wanna, I'm trying to get my Substack going, man. I'm definitely gonna start posting on my Substack, just posting, just a lot of random things. I mean, like I'm gonna start writing stories on here. Look, check me out on Substack, Mikey0905 on Substack. I'm gonna be writing stories, just having conversations about certain topics and all sorts, and MMA and all other sports for all my guys who tune into this but like other sports. But yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. We got some stuff brewing up for you, man. I miss my guy EGF. Shout out to him, man. Would have been even better with him, but we still got it done without him. I mean, until next time, it's Mikey. We out of here. EGF not here. Hey, I miss my guy, man. Split decision. We out. Peace.